Welcome to our first episode of Sylvie and Diddy React. I'm Sylvie,
And I'm Didy.
and today we're going to be reacting to an SNL skit about Donald Trump's reelection. But before we do that, please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Well, Diddy, I sent you this video shortly after the election, and it's self-explanatory, really. The SNL cast decided to have a skit about Donald Trump's re-election, and we're going to react to their reaction.
Okay. Yeah, so let's get this going. Let me share. Share sound is on. And we're going to full screen this bad boy. Okay. Can you see this?
I sure can.
Okay. I will play in three, two, one, go.
Tried to forcibly overturn the results of the last election was returned to office by an overwhelming majority.
This is the same Donald Trump who openly called for vengeance against his political enemies.
Now, thanks to the Supreme Court, there are no guardrails.
Nothing to protect the people who are brave enough to speak out against him.
And that is why we at SNL would like to say to Donald Trump, we have been with you all along.
All right, pause.
We have never waited.
So that first part, let me get your take on that, Diddy. But I had my own thought about that I'll share after.
Yeah. So this is my first time seeing the video. Um I guess my first thought is just like, yeah, that's how a lot of people are reacting. It seems like people react in two ways to the election of Donald Trump. Either you voted for him and you're like full gung ho, hip hooray, I can't
Hmm.
believe this is happening, or you're like, how could this person have been voted into the White House?
Right.
Um, so. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised that SNL is feeling this way. And I mean, we can be honest that Donald Trump definitely has a lot of character flaws.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I think that's
Absolutely.
I think somebody who looks at it like kind of at a distance will see that as like, yeah, like no, he's pretty awful in different ways, but then he's not awful in other ways. And like that's a lot of world leaders, and we're not always happy to talk about that because we like to lionize them. But yeah, my initial thought with this was it's funny because they're going to do this bit like, and we just saw that intro. We're like, oh, we never stop supporting you, but really, like my guess is the SNL skit, like they were saying what they really felt at the beginning. You
Yes.
know, it's like that's actually their genuine thoughts. And now they're going to put on this skit and this charade for us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't really been watching SNL.
Hmm.
I don't know how many other people do this in the modern era, but I just subscribe to a lot of like Netflix and Hulu and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So I'm not even really watching the usual suspects, I guess you could say, like Fox News, CNN,
Yeah.
like that. So I haven't been watching SNL. So
Or I will
yeah.
watch clips of it on YouTube and then
But yeah, presumably
Mhm.
because of the tone of that first bit, I think they were trying to be like somber. This is how a lot of people are feeling. And then
uh,
now they're going to do a funny.
all right. So
So,
continue and you will see.
yeah.
Wavered in our support of you, even when others doubted you.
Every single person on this stage believed in you.
Every single person on this stage voted for you.
Because we see ourselves in you. We look at you and think, that's me.
That's the man I want my future children to look up to.
And Mr. Trump, Your Honor, we know that you say things that are controversial sometimes, but really you're just speaking the truth. And I hate how the lamestream media, Michael Che, tries to spin it to make you look foolish.
All right, so
if you're
pause
keeping
there.
some sort of list of your enemies.
So right here, where it's like if they're afraid that Trump does really keep lists of their enemies, like it's funny for us because it's ironic that they feel one way, but like their revealed preferences, like what they actually do and shows what they like actually believe, shows that they don't fear that. Like if you really thought that, you know, Hitler came to power and he's going to punish the people that mocked him, you wouldn't actually name your co-host to be put on this enemies list.
Hmm.
But it's hilarious because they do the bit and they do it all the way.
Yeah.
And then there's that added irony that it's like, I don't know if they see how funny it is that it's like they don't believe this. Like they
Yeah.
don't believe that they're really
Yeah.
in trouble because otherwise you would never in a million years do that to your cohorts or to
Hmm.
like anybody that you know.
Yeah, exactly. And that you hit a good point. Like one of the things that was the most wild to me was the is has been the constant like Donald Trump is literally Hitler. I think everybody can be honest that that is not the case. Even if you really, really extremely dislike him,
Mhm.
uh, to call him Hitler, to compare anyone to that is, crazy. But it does make you wonder that if they drew those comparisons and they feel those comparisons are correct, why so far has the like transfer of power been peaceful? Like
Right.
I don't know if you saw Kamala's speech after conceding the day after
Hmm.
in the evening. She said we're going to engage in a peaceful transfer of power and we're going to make sure that Donald's Trump team feels supported. If you think that that person is literally Hitler,
Right.
I don't think you would actually be peaceful, to
Right.
a certain extent. You would fight. You would not concede the day after. You would probably maybe draw things, not that I'm inviting her, obviously we don't
Yeah.
want another mob to storm Capitol Hill after an
Right.
election, right? But you know, you'd think that they would be more forceful in their opposition, but
Yes, that there's a disconnect between their words and their actions. Absolutely.
yeah,
Like we
yeah,
don't want you to do these bad things, but we can't help but notice that your actions seem to indicate like this is Queensberry rules and we're gentlemen and gentle ladies here and like all is fair and love and war type of thing. But if there's an actual existential threat, you cheat, you do horrible things. The same thing when there was the assassination attempt, like wishing speedy recovery to Trump. Like if he's Hitler, like you don't wish Hitler a speedy recovery. Like,
yeah. Well, and that's where,
mhm,
I don't necessarily want to take everyone's word for gospel, but
yeah.
that's kind of where you did see, I think, to a certain extent, as a result of their Hitler rhetoric, there were a lot of people who were saying, "Oh man, an inch to the right, and we would be good."
Yeah.
So to a certain extent, those people might be joking. They might just be, hyperbole, this, that, the other thing. But also to say that in a public space is also about a presidential candidate. You know, I would never say something like that if Kamala were the one who had, like I wouldn't want to say that about either candidate or any of the
Right.
other independent candidates as well. So,
Absolutely. Well, let's
okay,
continue on with the video.
yes, yes, let's keep going.
Then we should not be on that list.
And it's C-H-E, Che.
And if we find out someone here voted for Kamala, we will rat them out so fast.
Like our 3 disgusting new cast members.
So real quick, left to right, that's Jane Whitline, Ashley Padilla, and Emil Joaquim. You can find their home addresses online. Hail Trump.
But the rest of us, hell Trump, voted for you at least once.
I voted for you 50 times in Pennsylvania.
92% of black women voted for Kamala, but I was one of the proud 8%. For me, it's brother Donald X Trump all the way.
And we're so excited to debut our new impression, Hot Jacked Trump.
That's right. That's right. It's me, Hot Jack Trump. They finally got the body right. But from now on, we're going to do very flattering portrayal of Trump because he's frankly my hero. And he's going to make an incredible president and eventually king. We love you, buddy.
All right.
Oh, we don't.
Donald Trump, who
Sorry.
tried to force
So good. We're going to watch it again.
Sorry. Yeah, let me stop sharing.
Now, I'll just say, like, when I watched it the first time, I actually did laugh, and I found it pretty funny.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
it's like I can appreciate it, and it's like I appreciate it probably at an even deeper level, like I said before, that there's like this irony that's like undergirding it all. It's like if you really thought this, like you wouldn't rat out your new cast members. Like, so clearly, either you care more about a bit and you're like going to sacrifice your like coworkers, or you realize that that's not true. In which case it's so funny at the posturing, like
Hmm.
what you really feel, which is like the oh, like everything's over, like this is an incredibly corrupt and fascistic man. But also we're going to joke about, how we're going to flatter you and haha, wink, wink. Um, it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
I appreciate this. I thought it was pretty funny because I think they're doing a great job of making fun of the political rhetoric from
mhm,
the liberal side recently. Because basically they've all been saying that. They're saying Trump is literally going to be a king. He's going to
right,
make himself the dictator or the one ruler over the United States, and there's not going to be another election again, right? Because he's going to
right,
be our king.
right.
And everybody in the audience was laughing at that, right? Because to a certain extent, we all, I think, understand that that's not going to happen. So, uh, yeah, so it's certainly funny. But then, of course, the somber part at the beginning, clearly they disagree. Their true feeling is that they disagree with his election, but that's
Yeah,
the right of the American people, right, to vote for who they think, democracy at work, basically,
yeah,
and
yeah.
freedom of speech at work. Uh, they can make fun of themselves. They can make fun of Donald Trump, and we're all here to laugh for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to give my final thought, and then I wanted to get your final thought to close the
Yeah.
video. But yeah, just like the thing I appreciated about it, even if I think that like there's some self-delusion, like it was way better and way more appropriate for SNL to do that than like unfortunately some of the Comedy Central people, or not Comedy Central, late night, where they would have these like depressing monologues, and it's like, well, you guys are supposed to be like the comedians.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, like everybody lost, like this is who lost, like blah blah blah. It's like, all right, like you may feel that, but like you're also supposed to be a comedian. You're supposed to have like good comedic punch. So it's like at least with SNL, there's that humor. Like it
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
really funny
Yeah.
when like if I forget his name, but like Michael Che and the guy, like they rib on each other, and so there's that
Hmm.
rivalry, and so it's like it's funny that it's like the ridiculousness of that is like, all right, I'm gonna sell out this other guy. Like that's funny. It's funny to watch. It's like that's what like those good
Hmm.
SNL skits used
Hmm.
to be. It's like we
Hmm.
do ridiculous stuff and we get a good laugh. So like
Hmm.
as much as like there may be flaws, like I really enjoyed the video, and that's
Oh
my
yeah.
final thought.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's my first reaction. It was definitely funny. And I guess to your point about like other late night hosts, I haven't really been watching late night for a long time.
Mhm.
So, I could imagine though that there were some basically just take those first 10 seconds and just draw that out.
Yeah.
Um, but Yeah, yeah. I appreciated the humor. Um, and I think it it says a lot that they were able to create some humor out of it. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I really appreciate that. So
Well, thank you everyone for
hmm
watching. We're going to hopefully be joined by you for our next episode. If
absolutely.
you want to give us your thoughts and your ideas or videos that you would like us to react to, we will have both mine and Diddy's emails in the description below. Please remember to go there and like, share, and subscribe.